We now would like to begin the Tokyo Marathon 2020 press conference for the wheelchair invited athletes.
Flying along the 42.195 kilometers. Humanity's fastest race is here. Top speeds exceeding 40 kilometers an hour battle against each other and race before your eyes. The world's best will battle for the win in the city of Tokyo. A super high-speed race pushing past the limit. Show your story. Tokyo Marathon 2020 Wheelchair Race Press Conference. Tokyo Marathon 2020 Wheelchair Race Director Masazumi Soejima.
Masazumi Soejima, Tokyo Marathon Wheelchair Race Director. Very nice to meet you. Thank you for coming. Members of the press, media, thank you for gathering here this morning. Now, it's time for Tokyo Marathon 2020. This course will overlap with the Tokyo Paralympic Games, which will begin in August this year. For the athletes, this is like a preliminary for the Olympics. Three different schemes will be implemented because we wanted to maximize the motivation of the athletes, and course record has not been renewed, which is quite unfortunate. So we want renewal of course record, shorten the time. That's why we are implementing three different schemes. After my comment, I will be joined by some athletes to communicate to you in more detail those schemes. Now, the invited wheelchair athletes will enter the stage.
2020. Invited wheelchair athletes. Number 2004. From Japan, Tsubasa KINA. Number 1004, from Japan, Tomoki Suzuki. Number 1006, from Japan, Kota HOKINOUE. Show your story.
We would like to now begin the conference with the athletes of the Tokyo Marathon Wheelchair Elite section. This will be a talk show event with the athletes. We're joined by three athletes, Soejima-san. Ms. KINA Tsubasa in November, Oita, she rewrote the national record, and Suzuki Tomoki in last year's World Championship got the bronze, and he has been given unofficial membership to marathon. And HOKINOUE won the marathon in record. Is the record holder for the Tokyo Marathon. You must be really excited. Yes, but I'm the most nervous. 3 different schemes have been implemented. We want athletes to participate and renew their best. So we are really motivated, but I am really nervous. So I hope that we can hear from the athletes, their views. Can you then introduce yourselves? And KINA Tsubasa-san, how's your condition? Please go ahead. Good morning. My name is KINA Tsubasa. My condition is good. And it seems that the weather forecast is good because last year it was extremely cold. So I think the atmosphere would be really promising for us. I'm looking forward. Suzuki-san. Suzuki Tomoki of Toyota Motor. This time, I'm not, frankly speaking, preparing only for the Tokyo Marathon, but I've been practicing well. But as you said, the course record hasn't been rewritten, so I think it's up to me. So I want to make a move quite aggressively. Thank you. HOKINOUE-san. Good morning. My name is HOKINOUE with Yahoo. As the race director said, it is like a primary for Tokyo 2020 Paralympics, but I haven't gotten the ticket to the Paralympics yet. So for me, it's a very crucial race. And I've been able to finish up my condition well, so I'm looking forward to a fantastic race. Thank you. So you're looking forward? Yes. Each athlete has his or her own position. They have their own objectives. It depends. The goal for each athlete differs. So from your perspective, Soejima-san, what's the characteristics of each athlete? Right. The two on this side are young and up and coming and are really, really renewing their personal strength. HOKINOUE-san has a national record and he is such a diligent athlete. I practiced with him. We participated in same races many times. He's really tactic about each race and very challenging. He thinks how to run the race. So he's competing against these two young and really strong and upcoming athletes. So he probably has his own tactics. But when you're at that growth phase, you can do anything and renew the record. So for KINA and Suzuki, I think they're going to have fun. So objective is rewrite the course record, right? Yes, that's important. When it became the major marathon, the first record was born, but it's not been rewritten since. So, of course, our grand goal is world record, but at least we want to show off a good time for Tokyo Marathon. So, first and foremost, rewriting the course record is the objective. KINA-san said the weather shall be good. So, as the course director, can you explain the 3 different schemes to accelerate the pace? First, this was a scheme we introduced last year, bonus point. ABET WMM offers bonus points. We designate the point, and if they go through that point at fast pace, they can gain bonus points. That's the system. But last year, it was quite lengthy. But from 37.1 point to 37.1 to 37.5. So it's only going to be 400 meters, and the fastest runner will be given the bonus points. 8 points, right? Yes. That would be added to the marathon majors points. Right. We saw the video of the course. So it's from 37.1 kilometer point for 400 meters, right? You'll see the ABET flag. 37.1 kilometer point, and it's 400 meters from that point. So let's ask the athletes what they think about this bonus point. Last year, it was longer, 1.3 kilometers. Now it's been shortened to 400 meters. Ms. KINA, what do you think about this shortening of the bonus point section? Well, I haven't experienced major marathons so much, so bonus point is not really my priority, but of course I will try for it. Thank you. Mr. Suzuki? Yes, that scheme was there last year, but it was too cold, and I really don't remember how I did that section. This time it will be only 400 meters. I also participate in track 400 meters. I just don't participate in marathon, so I will try hard. HOKINOE-san, if it's 400 meters in road, 45 seconds, I believe. Shorter than 45, I would suppose. Right. If it's 400 meters from zero, I will be defeated by Suzuki-san, but it's after going 30 kilometers, and Suzuki-san is in his growth mode, but he will probably get tired, so I think I have a chance. As the most experienced athlete on the stage, HOKINOE-san, thank you for the encouraging comment. 45 years of age and 25 years of age, you have 20 years of difference. HOKINOE-san, how do you think about the age difference? I'm not worried about it so much. Suzuki-san, how about you? I try not to be conscious. I was surprised that we're 20 years different. Sojima-san, what do you think? From my perspective, Suzuki-san, he could be my child. We're so apart in terms of age. I haven't delivered results so much so that I can participate in the same race, but he's got that momentum. Now, back to the issue of bonus points. From 37.1 kilometer point, it's the final stage of the race. Yes, it's in the second half, but at this point, at around 37 kilometers point, it's Marunouchi and the goal sprint. So they usually become defensive. But they run the first half and they try to increase the pace towards the 37.1 kilometer, hopefully to rewrite the record. But with that stimulus, the athlete who wants to gain points may make a move. And how would that move impact their final goal sprint? And they have to think about that as well in their strategy. But I hope they inject all their energy. So not to slow down in the second half either. Right. And the second scheme, what's the second scheme? Yes, the second scheme is unique to Tokyo Marathon. So 400 meter finishes at 37.5 kilometer point, 1:14 for men's, 1:28 for women. That time has been set. And the top 3 runners within that time, sub of that time, would be given prize money. 150,000 for the first place, and 100,000, and then 50,000 for the second and third, respectively. So this scheme begins this year, right? So what's the feedback from athletes, KINA-san? Right. I guess there's the goal target time, but as was mentioned by Mr. Soejima, I want to renew the course record, and that's been my goal every time I participate. At this time, that means that you could go for the course record. So simply, I will try to rewrite the course record, and it will be a motivation. Yes, you get the prize money. So for women, it's 1:28, sub 1:28, and the top 3 runners sub 1:28. Now, for men's, it's sub 1:15. You have to pass through 37.5 at that time. So, what do you think about the sub 1:15? For this Tokyo Marathon, unless I become truly aggressive, I can't achieve this time. It's quite challenging. But there's the prize purse, so I'm sure that all of the athletes will make moves and it will be a fantastic race. So specifically, do you think you can rewrite the record? Well, I cannot make a commitment, but I hope so, and I will try. HOKINOE-san. Bonus point. Split time. Right, you get the prize money. Yes, it's faster than the time that would be required for a course renewal, because there's the stone pavement Marunouchi, and then if there is a pack, there would be competition. So it's slightly faster than that time that the men's would have to pass through the 37.5 kilometer point. I'm aiming for a faster time at 37.5 kilometer point. So I hope to pass through that point at a faster time. So what's your target? Later on, I will show that in my panel. He's been participating from the first edition. And the third scheme also exists, right? Yes. And that's about the prize purse that's almost doubled. Please look at the screen. 1 million used to be the grand prize. 2 million, 1,700,000, 350,000, 250,000, 160,000, 120,000, and eighth gets 60,000. So double. That's a motivation for the athletes, right? Well, if I were an athlete, I think that would be a motivation. I'm not sure how these athletes feel about it, but what about you, Ms. KINA? Of course I'm motivated, and I will go for it. Women, 3. So if you look at the prize purse, no doubt, if you complete the race, you can get the prize money. Right. I hope I don't have to retire. Right, you have to complete the race. So you won't be eligible unless you make it to the goal. So you have to be cautious, but at the same time, go for the time record as well. And on the second scheme, Sojima-san, only the top 3 gets it, right? Yes, but you're going to be 3 of you, so all of you are granted this prize money. So as long as you pass through that point. But you have to go faster than the set time, right? Yeah. Yes. So do you think that's challenging? Well, I'm not sure. I will be cautious of the meter. And if you renew the record, you get further prize money, right? Yes. 1 million for world record and 500,000 for national record, and for course record 200,000. And these are the current world record, Japanese record, and course record. 135.50. The Japan record was by you in November, and the course record 2011 Tsubasa 141.04. So hopefully this will be renewed. Ms. KINA, looking at these record times, this is 2016. How do you feel about it? Tsubasa is very fast. After she enters the stone pavement, or re-enter the stone pavement, it's challenging. Yes, 2016 was the old course, and then from 2017, the new course. So the situation has changed, but please go for this time.
And next, Suzuki-san. The prize purse is doubled. It was mentioned earlier. And is there any change in your motivation? Well, wheelchair race is not well known, and I think it's very difficult to gain that. So with the increase of the price purse, I think the motivation will be raised significantly. And Hokinoe-san, you also won in 2015. Yes, from the first race I have been participating, and at the very beginning, it was really regrettable. But compared to that, the prize purse is 2 million yen, and even in majors, this is high ranked as a position. And the general runners, compared to them, the amount is lower, but even with that, we are trying to compete with the athletes in the world, and we have the gathering of many athletes, so I'm expecting to see more momentum. Kinoe-san, going back to record, the national record is held by you. 1:20:52 is the record you have. This is the record in the middle, and the race record and the world record. How do you think about them? To compare it with the healthy volunteers, wheelchair is with chairs, and we have the impact from the wind velocity for compared with the abled athletes. So we will try to avoid wind, and it's very important to make sure to use those tactics. When I recorded a national record, I wasn't intentional to do that, but I was able to be with Marcel, and I tried to keep distance with the rest of the pack, and I was able to have the good record. So together with runners, I just try to, it's a bit different from the general runners who are trying to pace up us little by little. So it's very difficult to state that I will aim for the Japan record, but of course I want to renew and rewrite the course record. It may be difficult in terms of the pace, but in order to renew that, you need to have 2 minutes and 30 seconds for 1 kilometer. 2 minutes and 3 seconds. And I'm sure that you will be aiming for that. And this 37.5 kilometers point. It's very difficult to set with how many minutes. And just like Hokinoe-san mentioned, there is a resistance from the wind, and depending on the situation of the course, 1 kilometer time can change easily. So the situations and the course, you need to set it up within yourself, and maybe you need to be aggressive here, and there may be some areas you need to be more patient because of the wind. We are also thinking about that. So now we would like to talk about how you're going to manage the course. KINA-san, what is your target and what is the image you have? In principle, I'm not a kind of runner who thinks in details. From the beginning, I just go with my best, and I want to use all my energy to do that. So it's like you're just trying to go ahead from the beginning. Yes, I'm maintaining my pace. I'm not really influenced by the other runners. Rewriting the course record. Yes, you just need to raise your pace, and I hope that you will aim for the course record. And Suzuki-san, what is your target? What is your goal? Well, of course, I want to be in the award winning, and I wasn't able to obtain the gold medal. And I don't normally plan for the race. Once the race starts, depending on situation, I will take the responses as necessary, and I want to be aggressive. I hope the result would follow. Hokinoe-san, a Tokyo Marathon, in the first half, up to 4th to 5th kilometers point, there is a downslope, and this was something that I was not good at, and Soejima-san always scolded me about it, and it was always my challenge of how to be persistent there. But I would assume that on Sunday, in the first 4 to 5 kilometers, I will try to stick to the first pack. That will be critical for me. So from Soejima-san, is there a question you want to ask to the athletes? This timing of Tokyo Marathon, this will be the time of the year when it becomes cold in Tokyo. And in terms of the practice, from the year end to January to February, this practice period and training period will be very tough to practice outside because it's too cold and it becomes very difficult. But under such climate, what kind of training they have done is something I am concerned about. May I ask about this to Kina-san? I'm from Okinawa, and this was a warm winter this year. And I wasn't really impacted by the weather and the season. I think I was able to run. But honestly speaking, I did not match my best to this Tokyo Marathon. So I'm not perfect, but I think I was able to do sufficient training. So I think I can have the best condition. So Suzuki-san, can you talk about the training up to now? About training, it's as usual. I don't practice for marathon. I just practice for track. Entering January, I went to Australia in warm climate. I did a practice for track. After returning to Japan, the main practice was in track and running. From zero is what I value. I shouldn't be mentioning here, but I try to match my peak to London Marathon in April. So this is what I'm trying to do. So Hokinoe-san. I have been trying to have the best condition for this Tokyo Marathon. Normally, in warm Okinawa or Ishigaki-jima or Miyako-jima, I normally go there. But this time, I was in my hometown, and also I used a room as well to do the speed training. I used the room runner to do the training. And now, as usual, would you please fill out your target time to the time board? Please prepare the flip. Race record. So this will be what Soejima-san is expecting. Yes. This will be a burden to the athletes. But this is what they should have, frankly, within themselves. Woman athlete world record is 1:41:04, and men 1:26:00 as the course record. So open the time. KINA-san renewing the course record by more than a minute, and Suzuki-san and Hokinoe-san trying to renew by more than 2 minutes. That's encouraging. Your motivation and your target. I hope you will challenge in order to achieve your targets. Hokinoe-san, 1 second faster than Suzuki-san. So starting from Hokinoe-san. So what is the real intent behind this time? Well, Suzuki-san is already selected for Tokyo 2020, but me, not yet. And from WPA, high performance standard time was announced, and we have to clear a certain time that is already set, and that's 1:24:02. And this 02 needs to be exceeded, and this is the part which is not yet announced, but I would assume that the top runners will be decided by high performance. And before that, Marathon World Cup London Marathon will be held, and if there is an eligible person, then there is a high likelihood of those who are performing at a high performance, and we are trying to be in that range. Why 39 seconds? 24:00. Yamamoto-san and Watanabe-san, they're there. So no matter how good the record will be, I have to surpass them compared to those two athletes, and I shouldn't be defeated by a Japanese athlete. The only person I can be defeated will be Suzuki-san. It's good. I just passed 1 second. So 30.2 kilometers. But I'm hoping that I can go with 3.2. So you are trying to win the ticket to Tokyo 2020. Mr. Soejima, what do you think about this? This really looks like Hokinoe-san. And making this kind of statement means I'm sure that the Hokinoe-san is doing sufficient training to come to this stage. I hope he will target and do his best. As race director, both of them are trying to renew course record. That's encouraging. I thought they would be more defensive, but within 24 at the minimum to Suzuki-san. I think this is really encouraging KINA-san as well. If you are to run in the race to aim for a record 41.195 kilometers, challenging is a marathon. And out of that situation, to be in the goal more than anybody else is important. Suzuki-san, what is your impression about this target time? Marathon best time was Oita last November, 1:22:25. And this time is not achievable now, but I want to be aggressive. And 1:24 should be achievable if I remain in the pack. So that's the reason why I jot this down. Thank you. And KINA-san, over 1 minute renewal of the course record. Yes, Soejima-san asked me for the course record, so I wrote it. In Tokyo Marathon course, my best time needs to be renewed by more than 5 minutes. That's the reason why I wrote it, but this is the target time, and I want to make sure to go to the goal with this. So really encouraging to hear from the three athletes. The weather will be nice after tomorrow. So Soejima-san, just say the last message to all the athletes. Last year was so cold and it was really a tough race. But this year we're expecting to have good weather. And as Tokyo Marathon, we have 3 schemes for Tokyo Marathon. You will be with your own goals, and I hope you will be committed to achieve the best. So lastly, from each athlete, we would like to hear your comment, starting from KINA-san. Tomorrow? No, it's not tomorrow. It's Sunday. I just wrote the time, but I hope I will be able to enjoy in running. Thank you. And Suzuki-san, please. Sunday, the very powerful athletes from overseas are absent, but I hope that this will be an enjoyable race. Hokinoe-san. I have been managing to do very tough training, so the rest is to do my best. More than the two athletes here, I think I'm nervous. I felt that when I came here on the stage, but I want to enjoy. By doing so, my personal best should be achieved, and I hope to exert the best. We are looking very much forward to the race, Soejima-san. Yes, just like KINA-san said, I hope you will enjoy running in the race with your own goals and a sense of fulfillment. And after running, I hope that you were able to run as you were. And we look forward to the renewal of the course record. Thank you very much to the three athletes. So this concludes the press conference for wheelchair invited athletes. Thank you very much to the athletes and to race director Mr. Soejima. After this, we will move on to photo session of the invited wheelchair athletes.